It's the Rich Lieberman Media Polls for Wednesday, October the 2nd, 2024. So Kim Wondereley officially bid farewell to KCBS this morning. And I didn't even think that she was going to even have a formal party. She wanted nothing of that. She was angry, not literally angry this morning because they announced it, as I announced it before everybody heard about it, that she was leaving, retiring, however you want to phrase it, KCBS. And I said and reported yesterday about the fact that, she was not a happy camper and that she could have stayed on a few more years if she wanted to, but she wanted out because she was fed up. She thought she was overused. She wasn't given the proper amount of respect. In fact, they offered her a party and a real big farewell, and she wanted nothing to do with that. If you heard her last official broadcast on KCBS, it was glad to be here, honored to have worked with you all, goodbye. She even made a joke about the fact that the bridge traffic on the Golden Gate to Marin County was as clear as can be, and that was a perfect metaphor for her leaving. Two things I want to tell you about that you will not hear anywhere else. Kim Wondereley was fed up at mostly Jenny Seelig, and a guy by the name of Don Bastida, who has his favorites, but clearly also has people that cannot stand him. One of which he asked literally to do a on-air favor and wasn't willing to pay for that. And it wasn't something just simple. Bastida wanted something done gratis. And who does that anymore these days? So that was just one of many, many deals going on. A big faction of people who can't stand this guy. As far as Seelig is concerned, her lack of any kind of real gusto, experience, any kind of formal missive ultimately cost her. And that's why a lot of good people are leaving KCBS. Now, look, big time in the news today has to do with the fact that this Soros-backed, George Soros, that big, very ultra left-wing guy wanting to buy all these Audacy stations. Anyway, it got the fast track from the FCC, and now it's a formality, which means a lot of people are really going to be leaving now or finding a way to get the hell out of KCBS. So you heard commercials. You're going to hear a whole lot of commercials because they're going to try to get every penny. Just a matter of time before KCBS and the other stations declare bankruptcy. That's the situation. But back to Wondereley. Wondereley was fed up. She thought she was being misused by Seelig. And one of many, many good people who are leaving in droves at KCBS. Okay. I predicted last week, when nobody else did, by the way, that Wondereley was leaving. She gets extra pay for her live reads, her sponsorship deals. Very, very lucrative situation, in addition to her salary, which in this environment today is pretty damn good. She had a cushy job, but she was tired of all the bullshit, tired of all the inner office politics put forth by Seelig, who is a manipulative person and an incompetent leader, which is why KCBS continues to fall and crater. Again, folks, this is a small thing, but a very big thing. Another good person retiring is the official word, but she could have stayed on and probably would have stayed on, but fed up with the office politics that is KCBS these days. It's going to be interesting to see what they look like now with this Soros group taking over. Replacements for Seelig, I keep saying Seelig. replacements for Wondereley. They have to offer the job. They haven't put out any kind of official placement. So it could be any number of people. Most of these people you've never heard of. So one of these days I'll do a broadcast as to who I think, with information provided from sources, who will take over the morning traffic gig. Okay. Some other things here on the pulse. You want to talk about being in a situation. KNBR made a much publicized series of promos about their super reporter being sent to Hawaii to cover, of all things, Warriors training camp. Folks, this is the dumbest, most financially dumb thing on a company that's about to do its second bankruptcy, Cumulus, which owns KNBR. But wait a minute. The reporter who's covering the Warriors in Hawaii, paid his own way. He paid his own way to go to Hawaii and cover Warriors training camp. Now, look, baseball is done, at least from a Bay Area standpoint. And the Giants are boring. I know they hired a whole new guy and all that, but it's boring. Excuse me. Nobody's talking training camp basketball. Nobody. So I don't know if this guy, John Dickinson, is the reporter who had to pay his own way to cover training camp, which is about to begin in Hawaii for the Warriors. It certainly wasn't Cumulus, because they are counting paper clips now. They are cutting back. The only people they're hiring, like a Kruger, like a Dickinson, a few other folks behind the microphone, are people that they're paying literally $100 a spot, including Kruger himself. There are no more lucrative paying jobs in radio, especially at that station, which is a joke. Okay, so I don't get, but I guess they have nothing to talk about because the 49ers only play once a week. But you're going to devote time and much airspace to a guy in Hawaii covering training camp of an NBA team. They're popular, but they're not that popular, and particularly the Warriors. Anyway, that's some pretty ridiculous programming in my book. But hey, it's KNBR. Are you shocked anymore? I'm not. Oh, personal housekeeping. Please become a subscriber to my YouTube channel. Secondly, if you're able to make a donation to this cause, please do so. And remember, I have a new sponsor. This is American Federal Coin, Gold and Silver Bullion. The number is 1-800-221-7694. 1-800-221-7694. You're going to speak to Nick Grovich, the owner and proprietor of AmFed Coin and Bullion. These are fine people. I know the economy is kind of up in the air. We have an election forthcoming in a little over a month. A lot of people have talked about gold. A lot of people have talked about silver. Maybe the fact that the feds have lowered interest rates. Anyway, you might just be somebody who is wanting to invest in gold, like a Krugerrand, or gold coins, silver eagles, gold eagles, what have you. Please contact Nick Grovich or all the good people at AmFed, American Federal Coin and Bullion, 1-800-221-7694. That's 1-800-221-7694. Mention my name and they'll take good care of you and get you on your way into the gold and silver market. And they're a sponsor. Please patronize these good people. Thanks, folks. See you later.